Hello, we're looking at problem 41, and it says solve each equation, and I have 12x to the third power equals 60x squared plus 75x. So I've written it here on my whiteboard, and in order to solve problems like this, it's best to set them equal to 0. So I'm going to move everything to one side, and notice I'm moving it to the left-hand side, and I'm doing that because I don't want my leading term to be negative. So my leading term is 12x cubed, and I get minus 60x squared minus 75x equals 0. So I'm going to factor out, and they all have a common factor of 3x. When I do that, I get 4x squared minus 20x minus 25 equal to 0. I can go ahead and take this one and say 3x equals 0, so one of my solutions is x equals 0. So now I'm just left with this 4x squared minus 20x minus 25 equal to 0. So I need to factor it. So one way that I can do it is I can take my 4 and my negative 25, and I get negative 100, and I want to look for two factors that add up to negative 20, if there are any. So I have 4 and negative 25, that doesn't work. I have 5 and negative 20, that doesn't work. I have 2 and negative 50, that doesn't work. And I have negative 10 and positive 10, that doesn't work. So I'm going to use the quadratic equation instead. So in this situation, for my quadratic equation, a is equal to 4, b is equal to negative 20, and c is equal to negative 25. So I plug it in, and I get negative b, which is positive 20, plus or minus the square root of 20 squared, which is 400, minus 4 times my a, which is 4, times my c, which is negative 25, all over 2 times a, which is 4. Okay, I'm going to erase some of this because I've run out of space. All right, so we just put an equal sign there, and I get 20 plus or minus the square root of 400 plus, when I multiply all this, I get a positive 400 all over 8. And so I get 20 plus or minus the square root of 800 all over 8. And this is all equal to x. This is all I'm solving for x now. So I can take the square root of this 800, and I'm going to do it like this. So I have plus or minus the square root of, I know that I have a 2 times a 4 times 100 divided by 8. And I broke it down like this because I can take the square root of 4, and I can take the square root of 100. And I get the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 100 is 10. And I'm left with just that 2 under there divided by 8. Run out of space again. I'm going to erase this. And I get x equals 20 plus or minus 20 square root 2 over 8. I have to look for a common factor. A common factor of 20, 20, and 8 is 4. So if I divide everything by 4, I get 5 plus or minus 5 root 2 divided by 2. And we can't forget our other solution of x equals 0. Now there's another way that I can do this. I can use my calculator. But as you can see, I'm going to get some kind of decimal number because I have to do 5 plus 5 square root 2 divided by 2, then 5 minus 5 square root 2 divided by 2. But we can try it just the same. And we're going to plug in, and I'm using my free graphing calculators at www.desmos.com. And I have 12, let's say y equals 12x to the third power minus 60x squared minus 75x. And you can see here, every place that it crosses the x-axis is one of my solutions. So if I just take my mouse and hover it here, I see that one of my solutions is negative 1.036. And that's if I just do the 5 minus 5 square root 2 divided by 2. And then here's 0. And then this is for 5 plus 5 square root 2 divided by 2. And I get 6.036. I hope this helps.